Good day, everyone. This is Pineleaf Noodles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey there, everybody. How's it going?
Everything is going fine here. How are things in Barovia?
Meh. Going. Yeah, meh.
It's
going.
It's going. Well, then let's see what's going on at Standing Stone Games. So perhaps it's a little bit meh there too, because it looks like they are going to have some downtime on Wednesday, May 23rd, from 5 a.m. till noon Eastern Time. Something about compliance with European law?
That's what Cordovan says. He says, and Ollie will quote, the DDO game worlds will be unavailable for maintenance from 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. -4 GMT on Wednesday, May 23rd. The website and the My Account app, My Account, will also be unavailable. This replaces our regular weekly Tuesday downtime. This maintenance is being done to do work associated with the GDPR compliant. So yes, they have to be compliant or the EU will come and get them.
How does the EU come and get them?
I'm not sure what would happen. All I know is very bad things will happen if you're not GDPR compliant. Very bad things.
Very bad things. They turn off all access to people living in Europe from your site.
It could, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's a big mess. I need to look at some things to make sure that the Players Alliance sites are compliant, but I have not done that yet. But I have 4 days to do it, so we're good for 4 more days.
We're good for 4 more. So if we disappear over the weekend...
That's right. You'll know why.
You'll know why.
It's like, crap, we're not GDPR compliant. But I think we are, because we don't really do a lot with personal data. So, yeah, if you didn't know... the too long didn't read version of the GDPR compliance is if you do anything in Europe, in the European Union, your site has to be GDPR compliant, and that just means you have to take steps to protect people's privacy and personal information. And if, let's say, you would get hacked, you will release that information as soon as you find out that you were hacked and what was taken, if anything was taken, and it's basically just that. So there's a lot of sites in America that are freaking out about it to make sure that they're compliant. And you may or may not, if you are signed up for any mailing list for any site at all, and if they are located in the European Union, you probably have gotten emails that said you need to resubscribe to our list and say it's okay for us to send you stuff. That's all part of the GDPR as well. So that's what it is. It's like boring technical stuff that nobody really cares about until you're not compliant, and then you care about it.
There we go. Then let's head into the Chronicle, where it looks like there is a Scaro at the top of the page.
There is. We're back to the Disciples of Rage again on our Chronicle headers. Last week, I forgot what we had on there, but I was surprised it wasn't Age of Rage related, and now we're back. So
we're back to raging.
That's right. Always raging, Pineleaf. Always raging. So, let's take a. Is that how you rage? Is that your rage? That's mighty impressive rage.
Oh well.
In our community spotlights of our DDO Chronicle, Deep Reap streams DDO regularly over on Twitch and also organizes raids twice a week. So click over and watch it, join them, subscribe to them. You can even raid with them if you are so inclined. Axel is discussing the new, I guess it's not new anymore, but he's just discussing Reaper difficulty in a brand new video. So click over and see what Axel has to say about that. And Ginger Spice is beginning a new round of Reaper Life. So click over and see what Ginger Spice is up to.
It sounds like it's a lot of reaping the
exactly.
spotlight this week.
It's like all of a sudden everybody's like reaping it up. I'm not sure what's going on with that. We will jump into our fan site news section of the Chronicle. DDO Cast, of course, has their part 3 of their review of Update 38. So click over and see what they think of the new update. Strim Tom is back with more internet. No idea what that means, but click over and find out. I guess it's a tease. Fumbles and Fame is also also playing DDO in one of their latest videos. If you haven't checked out Fumbles and Fame yet, you need to do so because it's awesome. Sip, over from his Bio Break blog, say that a couple times fast, is going to a mad tea party. I think he's still in Ravenloft.
Okay, so the blog is going to Bavaria.
I'm not even going to attempt to say that. Not even going to attempt it. I'll just leave it to you. A very bad guild is not very nice to the villagers. Click and see the horror. Okay, I am not caught up on a very bad guild. I'm going to have to watch that now just to see what they have done.
They're not nice to villagers? I'm not too sure what villagers are in DDO. When I think of villagers, I think of Minecraft.
I'm sure you would. And also in the Fansite news section, McVegan Pants is fighting Medusas. Click over and check out her latest live stream. And Brighter Days Ahead is celebrating spring. And Tito LP finds a nice vintage. Click over and check out his YouTube channel. And of course, in our chronicle, we have our comment. There was actually a fourth elder in toxic treatment before the trial was deleted. What did that elder want you to do?
I'm trying to remember what the first three elders wanted you to do, because
crap, more crap, puzzles, crap, puzzle, crap, and puzzles.
I think that sort of sums up. So
something like that.
Yes. If most likely it was to do a Simon style puzzle, but instead of pressing the items in sequence, you had to jump on the locations one by one in order to do it. And of course, if you went into a completely invalid location, then you'll be put into a pit of death.
That is very specific, Pineleaf. You had a very specific answer prepared for this week's Chronicle question. I'm not sure what that says about you.
Well, that says that the fourth one was just too evil even for this game.
Well, I don't know. That quest is pretty evil, but I digress. I don't really have an answer this week. I was trying to think of something before the show, and I really can't think of anything. So we'll go with your answer.
Okay.
Because it was all like prepared and long and stuff. Said to our screenshot of the week in our chronicle, and that is Sharkin. Sure, why not? Praise for victory. People should be used to it by now. I butcher your names. That's what I do. Praise for victory in the 367th official DDO screenshot of the week. And thanks, person who I butchered your name here, for sending in this week's screenshot. People should be used to it by now. I mean, come on.
Okay, so we'll have So instead of the screenshot of the week, it should be the butchered name of the week?
Yeah, pretty much. That's about what it boils up to. You're welcome.
Then let's head into our sales for this weekend. Is there anything nice and uplifting for sale?
Meh.
Nah.
It's just a meh. 20% off Astral Shards. If you're going to buy them when they're on sale. That's what I say. Guild Renowned Elixirs also at 20% off. And speaking of guilds, 50% off Guild Charters and the Guild Airship Beacons. So we have Astral Shards, Guild Renowned, Guild Charters, and Airship Beacons in the sale. So it's a meh sale this week. Free sample of the week is also Lasting Bearskin +3 potion. You get 5 of those when you use the coupon code BARKSKIN, BARKSKIN, and that runs through May 24th.
Let's go and see what's coming in from the dungeon. And Eriador Adventures is coming for Adventures in Middle-earth. That's right. It's time to have some quests in Eriador.
That's right. This is a book of brand new quest as well. This is kind of the companion to the Rivendell guide, region guide that just came up. This is going to include 6 ready-to-play adventures for Adventures in Middle-earth, and they are hinted at this way. Children kidnapped in the night. Unusual cunning trolls. A mysterious cavern. The fate of a company of hobbits. and the Legacy of the Dunedain, and An Evil Awakening Beneath the Barrows. These are the 6 new stories that are going to be set in the ancient land of Eriador. And as I said, these 6 are ready to undertake. All you do is you need some heroes, and you can jump in and play. This is a hardcover book that is due out later in the year. The PDF version released today, as a matter of fact, May 21st. So if you want the PDF, you can get that. Or if you buy the PDF book combo, you get the PDF now. The book will ship to you when it's ready later in the summer, and MSRP is $39.99 on the hardcover book. But yeah, it's good to see Cubicle 7 keeps supporting Adventures in Middle-earth, and I think a lot of people are enjoying Adventures in Middle-earth. I think it helps that they have the OGL and 5e, so if you know how to play 5e, you can pretty much jump in and play this. There's just a few tweaks here and there, but that's just because to make it all like, Tolkien and Middle-earth like. But I have read all the books, and it's pretty exciting. And here's a teaser that doesn't affect this show, but it affects another show on the network. We might be playing this pretty soon. Maybe. Ooh. We'll see. Things are in the works.
Then let's head into some statuary. More specifically, new Venger Dungeons & Dragons cartoon statue is coming from Pop Culture Shock, and this looks expensive.
Yeah, I was really excited about this, and then I got the price email, and then I wasn't so excited about it anymore. But it's awesome. If you loved the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon, you loved Venger. Venger was awesome. Venger was my favorite. Pop Culture Shock is known for their collectibles that they do. They do some really fine work. I'll give them that. This is a 1/4 scale statue of Venger. The pre-orders of this went up today. The estimated arrival is between June 2019 and August 2019. And the standard edition is only going to be 400 of it. And it's going to run you $499.99.
And that's the standard edition?
Yes, that's the standard edition of it. Then there's the limited edition version of it, which is only going to be 250 of the statues made. That MSRP is $524.99. $500 or $525. So
exactly how tall is Venger supposed in the cartoon?
I want to say he was probably 6 foot something, maybe.
So that means that we're talking about a 1.5 foot tall statue here.
But yeah, so if you have a lot of money and you want a cool Venture statue, there you go. And Nightpon in the chat is saying, that's almost my rent payment. I think I'll pass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree, sir. I agree.
Let's head on and see what's on the tabletop. Maybe not an 18-inch statue.
Probably not, no.
Then let's see what's happening with the Spiel which is having the award nominees have been announced.
They have. For the Game of the Year 2018, the nominees are Azul, Luxor, and The Mind. So those 3 are up for the Game of the Year, and that is going to be announced on July 13 in Berlin.
I've heard of Azul because Z Garcia was always talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've heard of Luxor because I've been hearing Rado talking about it recently. I think he moved up his Luxor playthrough because of the nominees. But as for The Mind, never heard of it.
Me neither. I was hoping you would have. Yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue what this game is. I have never heard of it either. Apparently, it must be good because it's up for the Game of the Year.
Well, that doesn't always mean.
Very true. And of course, along with the Game of the Year, we have the Kinderspiel, and that is the children's Game of the Year. These are games I have never heard of either, other than Panic Mansion. I have heard of that one, and the other 2, I'm not even going to pretend to know how I can pronounce them.
Panic Mansion is up for Kinderspiel?
Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't it?
Okay, I guess the name of it sounded like it had something to do with. I guess like the name gave me an idea of Castle Panic mixed with Cthulhu.
No.
So therefore, then
I am glad you didn't design this game, then, Pine Leaf. It would be a totally different game. No, this is a full-on kids game.
Okay, all right, very well.
That's funny. And then the other games up are Emojoti or Emojote, whatever it is. And then again,
Emojito?
Never heard of it.
It sounds like there'll be a lot of emoji in there.
I like how it's described by the Spiel people as a sensitive party game for 2 to 14 players. What is a sensitive party game, you might ask? I have no idea. And then the other game up for the Kinderspiel is a tactical collecting game for 2 to 4 players, and that is... Go ahead, Pine Leaf. I'm not even going to pretend I can pronounce that.
Funko Shots?
Sure, that sounds good. Then again, never heard of it. So,
well, it's obviously a German game.
Apparently, well, I've never heard of it. But the thing is, if one of these wins, other than Panic Mansion, I'm sure we're going to hear of it because it's going to be available here. I should have looked up to see if those other 2 were available here. But wait, there is more.
There's more?
There, of course, is the Kinderspiel.
You mean the... oh, yeah, the Kinderspiel.
Yes. I was going to say, where were you going with that? I'm like, I'm totally confused.
It's the fact that Kinderspiel and Kinderspiel...
Yeah, they are. I wish they would change the name of the Kinderspiel because every time somebody says something like, now, are you talking about the Kinder or the Kinner?
Yes.
I'm confused. But the nominees for that are The Quack of Quildenberg. I never heard of that game either.
That's crazy. That's a crazy name.
Pretty Clever and Heaven and Ale. Now, I've heard of Heaven and Ale. That is supposed to be a really, really good game. And the Kinderspiel is going to be announced on July 23rd. And I forgot to say the Kinderspiel will be announced on June the 11th.
And it sounds like that there's also a Saunders Prize this year?
Yes, there is a special award this year. And it goes to Pandemic Legacy Season 2. And
that one I've heard of.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna say, out of this list, there was 3 games I have heard of. So there you go. There is your Spiel des Jahres nominees for 2018.
Then let's head into the Origin Awards nominees, and hopefully these will be games that we know how to pronounce.
Yeah, hopefully. And are we heard of? Ninth Pun said he's confused. That's funny. Nice one, Ninth Pond. Nice. Yeah, the Origins Awards, of course, will be announced and awarded at Origins. Imagine that. There are 8 categories of nominees. In the board game category, there are 12 nominees. I'm not going to read them all. Go over to the website and see the full list. But yes, these are games we have heard of. Great Western Trail, The Godfather, Gloomhaven, Dice Forge, and The Captain is Dead, to name a few. As I said, if you want to read the full list, head over to DDO Players and check out the article.
And it looks like 2 of these I've played.
Let's see. I played, out of the 12, I played 3 of them. So.
Okay. Obviously, I'm halfway through Pandemic Season 2.
Right.
And then Sagrada I've played.
Yep, I played Sagrada.
Now, I have Gloomhaven, but I haven't started it yet. I should see about that sometime.
Wow, you have Gloomhaven? Color me surprised.
Yeah. Now, of course, if I someday actually get it out and play it, it would be even more surprised.
Well, the reason I'm so surprised that you have Gloomhaven is that takes up a lot of space. And usually don't go for like the big space games, so yeah, I'm really surprised.
I think that's the game that after I got where I was thinking my policy of not getting such games, I think, came soon after getting that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I think because I think that's the reason why I haven't played it yet, because I'm saying, oh, where am I going to fit this?
Exactly. That it takes like 2 hours just to like punch everything out and put everything together and all that too. So it's a game within a game.
Now, for the card games, it looks like a couple of these I've heard of.
There we have, once again, not going to read all 10 nominees, but head over to the site if you want to hear them all. But 5-Minute Dungeon, Eons N, Ex Libris, The Fox in the Forest, and Jump Tribe, just to name a few.
And for me, of course, the one that I obviously have played quite a bit is the one at the bottom, One Deck Dungeon. Oh, I've also done quite a bit of ANZ, but you already mentioned that one. But One Deck Dungeon is certainly the one I've played the most.
And you need to check out 5-Minute Dungeon. 5-Minute Dungeon is really super fun, too. That one, I enjoy that one a lot. And then we'll jump into the collectibles game category. And these have a few that I've never heard of, but there is the ones that you would expect to be here. Dungeons & Dragons Miniatures, Icons of the Realm, Monster Menagerie 2, which I have to call shenanigans, this nominee right here. That is not a game. Those are minis for Dungeons & Dragons. Minis are not games. You use them to play the game, but it's not a game. So I'm not quite sure why that's in the collectible game category, but I digress. DC Comics Dice Masters Batman Foil Packs, Dragon Ball Super Galactic Battle Booster, say that a couple times, Marvel Hero Clicks, The Mighty Thor, and the Star Wars Destiny Awakenings Booster is some of the 10 nominees for that.
And guess which one of these I have?
Probably the Magic the Gathering.
Well, actually, the answer is none of the above.
Oh, okay. It was a trick question then. See how you are. We also have 10 nominees over in the family games category. And this is Azul, Bunny Kingdoms, Codename Disney, Codenames Duet, Downforce, Drop Mix, Hot Shots, Mountains of Madness, Sagrada, and Viral. Those are all 10 nominees. Downforce is awesome. Hot Shots is awesome. Mountains of Madness, I hear is pretty good. Sagrada, I also hear is good. And Azul, I hear is good. So this is going to be a tough category in the family game category, I think.
Fighting it out, yes.
And then we'll quickly jump over to the miniatures category. This has Blood and Thunder, which we did a review, or not a review, I'm sorry, an interview with the developers of this game when it was still on Kickstarter. You can check that out if you want. Just search on our site for Blood and Thunder, and you'll find it. Rune Wars, the miniatures game by Fantasy Flight, The Walking Dead miniatures games by Mantic, and Warhammer 4000 8th edition, or 40,000, sorry. 8th edition by Games Workshop.
8th edition.
That's going to be another tough category, too. And then we jump to the role-playing category, where there are 12 nominees. And Ninth Pond, I will talk about your comment here in a second, because you're going to be sad, because that wasn't nominated. The Adventures in Middle-earth Player's Handbook by Cubicle 7, Blades in the Dark by Evil Hat, Blue Rose, 2nd edition by Green Ronin, Cthulhu Confidential by Pelgrane Press, The Dark Eye Core Rule Set by Ulysses Spiel, The Extraordinary Adventures of Baron I can't say that word.
Munchausen.
There you go. 3rd edition, and that is by Fantasy Play, which I didn't realize that was Fantasy Played, actually.
Well, that's because I was surprised because I've heard of the movie and I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, and I lied, Ninth Pond. You're going to be excited. My Little Pony, Tales of Equestria is up for an Origins role-playing game. There you go, see? He had mentioned there's a My Little Pony table RPG, and he said, this is obviously the hole in my life I didn't realize I was missing. Well, now you know, and it's even up for an Origins award, so it's got to be good.
Now, the one that I'm finding weird is Traveler Starter Set.
Why is that weird?
Well, I guess because Traveler Starter, I would have thought that a Traveler Starter Set was released 40 years ago.
Well, no, there was a newer version just released. Actually.
Obviously a newer
Yeah.
version.
Well, I hope so. I hope they didn't, jump into a time machine and like, wow, 40 years ago, what was a good RPG? Hey, the Traveler set. Yeah, let's do that one. And then we have Monster Hearts 2 and Puppet Band. And of course, Starfinder from Paizo. So that is going to be another tough category. Ninth Pond is saying that's where he read about the My Little Pony. I guess I didn't realize that was I'm sure we've talked about My Little Pony on the show. Matter of fact, I know we have. Because at the time it came out, I said, did we really need a My Little Pony RPG? But apparently we did, and we do. And there's a bunch of My Little Pony events at Gen Con that sold out, believe it or not, which kind of scares me in a way, but that's besides the point. And then we have, go ahead.
It looks like for the role-playing supplements, you're best in it if you've got 2 nominees for your system.
Yeah, exactly. This one is pretty much dominated by Cubicle 7. Yes, we have the Adventures of Middle-earth, the Rovanian Region Guide, Adventures of Middle-earth, the Lore Master's Guide, Blue Rose Narrator's Kit, Call of Cthulhu, the Grand Grimoire of the Cthulhu Mythos, Call of Cthulhu, the Two-Headed Serpent. Yeah. And then we have Doctor Who, which, as I said, Cubicle 7 is pretty much up against themselves in this category. D&D is represented with Xanthar's Guide to Everything, Mutants and Mastermind, Atlas of the Earth Prime, and Shadow of the Demon Lord, the Demon Lord's Companion is also up as well in the role-playing supplement, the Origins Awards. And then we have the game accessories, which this is where I think the Dungeons & Dragons Miniatures Icons of the Realms should have been nominated. But, apparently I'm not on the committee, so what do I know? Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu, the coloring book. Swords, who doesn't want to color Cthulhu? Come on.
Oh, boy, that should...
That won't end... Yeah, exactly. Going to say that's not going to end well. Swords and Sorcery, the custom dice pack, the Broken Token, Terraforming Mars Organizer, Sails of Glory Series 4 ship packs, say that a couple times fast, Smirking Dragon Tablecloths, and D&D Icons of the Realms and Pathfinder Battles pre-painted miniatures. See, it's one of them is here and one of them is in the collectibles games. I don't get it. And the Zia Station Organizer from Meeple Reality. And those are your nominees for this year's Origins Awards, which, as I said, shockingly will be given out at the 2018 Origins Game Fair.
Then let's head out and see what our week in gaming is. And Drac, what have you been up to?
Well, I took my level 10 Druid, soon to be my Dragon Wolflock, as we've talked about, and took him into the Mist of Ravenloft. I did the second part, which is, of course, the Vampire Hunter's Quest. That's the Oath of Vengeance, a Raven at the Door, a Mad Tea Party, and Sealed in Amber. Still enjoying Ravenloft after all this time, after countless of times doing the quest.
Oh, shock.
Ravenloft is awesome. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, and nobody is shocked at this. And then the other thing I did gaming-wise was over in Neverwinter. Yeah, Neverwinter still got me. Still doing that Dwarven King quest arc. Of course, I talked about that a little bit, I think it was last week. That's the quest arc in Neverwinter that was written by R.A. Salvatore. I did Chapter 1, Attack at Dusk, Chapter 2, The Pent, Chapter 3, The Throne of the Dwarven Gods, and Chapter 4, The Helm of Brunor Battlehammer. And that was pretty awesome because you actually get to meet Brunor Battlehammer himself. So it's pretty cool if you're into R.A. Salvatore. And that is a really well-written quest line, but of course, it's written by R.A., so of course it is. And really, that's all I did in gaming this week. But we did some stuff, because I actually did get my game box fixed. So what did we do finally?
We went into the necropolis, into the orchard out there, and before we went in, I rolled my gold present, of course, and now I have a pseudo dragon following me around. So that's a nice little gift that I got there. And we then went into did landscape stuff mainly, but we did eventually go into the desecrated temple of Vo. There, then I went onto my dragon board artificer, and I didn't do too much there. Essentially, I just ran the Depths of Despair, Darkness, Discord, and Doom. And I was in the middle of Discord when I suddenly realized that I had never summoned my cleric through this. So I was, of course, on a level 6 character, and these quests are levels 4 and 5. So I was a little slightly above, but I eventually decided, all right, fine. I went through this far without getting a cleric, so I went through the entire series without a cleric. So I think that's the first time I went through a series of dungeons without a hireling in a long time. Then on tabletop, I didn't do too much actual tabletop, though I did play One Deck Dungeon, the app. The app is now officially released on Steam, so therefore, if you are on Steam and are interested in this game, One Deck Dungeon, you can go there and get the game there. That is $10 on Steam, and soon it should also be available on the Android and iOS systems. And I decided to start a campaign with the Paladin, and in my first game, I managed to reach the dragon, but I had a pretty tough battle against the dragon, and the dragon had Paladin for lunch as a result. So that didn't go too well. In Minecraft, and if you wonder what am I doing this week, if that's all I did in DDO and Tabletop, you can guess it went into Minecraft again. And I built the fire branch of the Greater Temple, so now I have all 4 of those branches: the earth, the air, the water, and the fire. And in this, I decided to build the room at the end of the branch into a bulk smelter, because I've never built a bulk smelter before. So I decided, all right, let's see if I could build one of these things. And the challenge here was to do it with as little redstone as possible. And therefore, I eventually, with a little help of inspiration from a video, decided to have some rails, automatic rails, going up and down to deliver the coal and the items to be smelted. So therefore, I did that. And now I was able to smelt quite a lot of stuff, because I was way always falling behind in getting netherrack, and getting netherrack baked. But now I'm able to do that more easily, because I have these bulk smelters on either side of this. So that was something useful to have. And in my update 1.13 world, I made my first foray against an ocean monument, and I was pretty much shown why have always been so scared of ocean monuments, because those things are rough. I don't know if you were going against an ocean monument track.
I have never played Minecraft.
Oh, you've never played Minecraft? Okay.
So the answer is no.
No. All right, very well. Yes, I went against one of those things, and it was pretty much one big disaster on there. So my main thing in there I wanted to do was to get some pieces of prismarine, and I was able to get just enough of that for my purposes. So I really wish I can get more of it at some point in the future. I need to buff myself up so I could have better hope against that monument. And then I decided to do the next crazy thing, and that is to go into the nether. And I decided to go into the nether and build a tunnel up to a mushroom island that I found while I was trying to search for an ocean monument. So now I have a secondary base over at a mushroom island, and I'm going to see if I could get to a nice foray there, because just in my last session there, I had found an abandoned mine shaft. So therefore, I'm going to be exploring that, and that shall be quite an adventure that I'll be having over there.
And Ninth Pond in the chat is saying it's okay, I've never played Minecraft because you have played enough for both of us. Truer words have never been spoken.
Very well. And then I finally gained enough levels so that I was able to make a decent enchanted pick. So now I have a nice pick. But the most important thing of all is I still don't have a trident. And of course, I call my series that I have on the 1.13 world the forked spear. And one of my big goals there is, of course, to get and use a trident. And I still haven't found one. It's not dropping. It's sort of similar to what you're like in getting quivers. We currently have 17 supporters on Patreon, and if you would like to help support DDO players, simply go to a donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be a guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. And if you have any ideas for updating our Patreon rewards, then please email Drac with these ideas at drac@ddoplayers.com. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlly, DDO Players @DDO Players, Draculetta @Draculetta_72, and Pineleaf @Pineleaf News. And you can also follow Drac on Twitch @Draculetta_72. The Players Alliance has 4 shows. Every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News. Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Loto Players News. Every other Thursday at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have XP Quest. And on the first Tuesday of each month at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Chromatic Bits. And you can join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pipe Noodles reminding you to quest responsibly.